In this video, you will learn how the basic demand table is structured, how to customize the look of the basic demand table, and how to fill out the basic demand table properly. How is the basic demand table structured? In Demand Worksheet, you specify demanded quantities, and stock constraints or target stock levels per SKU, for a given range of time buckets. Stock constraints can be entered manually, or can be calculated as a desired stock coverage by using stock constraints coefficients. Demanded quantities could be viewed either from historical perspective. In other words, they may present records of past sales, shipments, etc., or they may refer to projections of future needs in a form of demand forecasts or real orders. How to customize the look of the basic demand table. When you click on the Build Template button, all the data in the basic demand worksheet are deleted, and column headers are copied from the dictionary. In case you are not satisfied with the look, or the names of your columns, you can change them by modifying the contents and the formats of the corresponding cells in the dictionary. To accomplish this, click on the Dictionary Page tab. In the filter, select Basic Demand Worksheet. Modify cells in the headers and values column by changing background color, font, alignment, text, and the rest of the formatting parameters. In order changes to take effect, go back to the Demand Worksheet. And click on the Build Template button. How to fill out the basic demand table properly. To better understand the logic behind proper population of demand table, let's consider a simple example. On this diagram, you can see a single stream demand forecast in both monthly and quarterly time buckets, for a set of products. Here, you can also find target stock levels for each of the forecasted time periods, as well as desired stock coverage in months, for each of the forecasted SKUs. Demanded quantities and target stock levels are defined in pieces. You may notice that products differ in their forecasted volumes and demand patterns. Some SKUs like Product 1, Product 2, and Product 12 are expected to have high sales volumes, while Product 4 and Product 5 are not likely to be sold in big quantities. Some items like Product 26 and Product 27 sustain almost constant demand over the planning horizon, while others like Limited Edition 1 and Limited Edition 2 are planned to be shipped to customers only for 3 or 4 months. Differences between products can be observed in stock coverage and target stock levels as well. It can be easily seen that Product 1 is the top seller by volume. In this example, its desired stock coverage is the lowest in the set, and corresponding stock levels at the end of each of the planned periods are supposed to cover 4 to 5 days of sales. Situation with Product 4. and product 5 is just the opposite. Because of the low forecasted volumes, target stock levels are expected to cover 2 months of sales. Limited edition items present an interesting case, because they are supposed to be sold in limited quantities for limited periods of time. Enough stocks must be available at the end of the time buckets preceding the start of sales, but no stocks must be left after sales periods are over. Demand template can be generated automatically on a basis of 2 inputs: a list of SKUs which is extracted from the basic work centers and SKUs table, and a range of time buckets. Before you start building this table, make sure you have the right data in the work centers and SKUs worksheet. Then, click on the Build Template button. As a result, a Build Demand Template dialog pops up. In the dialog, select the type of the time buckets in the range. Specify parameters of the initial time bucket. Enter the number of buckets. And finally, give default values to the stock constraint coefficients. To start template generation process, click OK. If you'd like to add another range of time buckets, just click on the Add button. Pick the type of time buckets. Define the initial time bucket. Size the range. Specify the default values, and click OK. It's perfectly acceptable to keep demanded quantities and stock constraints defined for time buckets of different types in the demand table. There are various ways to fill out demanded quantities. You can enter values manually. You can copy and paste desired demand from other tables. You can sort your products by SKU ID, and then copy and paste demanded quantities. Or you can use Microsoft Excel functions like VLOOKUP or SUMIF to transfer data from other sources. In the Basic.Demand table, stock constraints define desirable stock levels per SKU at the end of each of the time periods. You can fill out your target stock levels, either by applying methods similar to those used to populate demanded quantities, or by triggering stock level calculation based on stock constraint coefficients. To get the idea behind stock level calculation, let's take another look at the diagram in the example. It can be easily seen that most of the target stock levels at the end of each of the time buckets are calculated by multiplying forecasted quantities in the succeeding periods by the corresponding monthly stock coverage. Stock level calculation algorithm operates in a similar manner. If we assume that stock constraint coefficients serve as monthly stock coverage, then target stock levels for each time bucket can be calculated by multiplying demanded quantities of the succeeding time bucket by the corresponding stock constraint coefficient. You can change stock constraint coefficients and recalculate desired closing stock levels at any time. Note that if there is no succeeding time bucket of the same type, stock constraint is set to 0. In this case, you can enter the desired stock level manually, or copy and paste the value from another table. To avoid troubles later on, try not to leave blanks in the time bucket ID, SKU ID, SKU description, quantity, stock constraint coefficients, or stock constraints column. It's also not recommended to modify automatically generated time bucket IDs, SKU IDs, or SKU descriptions. And to enter non-numeric values as quantities. Stock constraint coefficients, or stock constraints. By any means, try not to leave gaps in the table. If you'd like to clear contents of a block of cells, it's better to delete the rows instead. Thanks for watching. You can check out planning-tools.net website and Planning Tools channel on YouTube for more videos.